Hello everybody, Backyard Brent here again in Hopewell Township, New Jersey. And early morning, listening to the birds chirping. So just to build on what we talked about yesterday, we talked about berries picking in July. It's a great time to connect to your local area. Lots of natural areas, parks in New Jersey, New England, have a lot of berries right now, this time of year. So the ones you can find are raspberries or dewberries, wineberries, which are invasive. Remember, eating is the best revenge. And blackberries, there's a couple ripe here and there, but they're coming up end of July, early August. Okay. But I wanted to talk to you. I just was on this hike and I just saw a couple of things that I wanted to point out to you. So this one right here is a cherry tree. Okay, it is not um, a normal cherry tree. It's probably fire cherry or pin cherry. You can see right here, you can see really close, the cherries are not quite ripe yet. They'll be ripe soon. So I can tell it's not a normal cherry because it doesn't have a brown fiber on its midrib right here. That's how you can tell. That's a key characteristic of a cherry, a normal cherry. Can't remember the genus species name. So, so this really comes up. Remember we talked about disturbance yesterday? So this really comes up. It's called a fire cherry because it usually comes after a fire, a disturbance, like a fire in an area. So it's one of the first things to grow. It's early successional. Succession is like the series of stages that plants go through over time. So it's early successional because it needs a lot of sunlight. So you can see right here, that is the fire cherry or pin cherry. So we'll be back here a little bit later to look at that and to eat that. Okay. This is a grape right here, Vitaspa. So you can see that grape. That's growing a lot, and it's almost like invasive. It kind of smothers a lot of things. I don't know if it's technically invasive, but it kind of smothers out a lot of things. So it's actually smothering this flowering dogwood, Cornus Florida, right here. And there will be grapes, wild grapes, not as large as the grapes we're used to eating. They're not cultivated, coming up in the fall. And this one here, okay, this is very distinctive. It's kind of like a silvery look to it. So this is autumn olive, and it's an invasive. Remember, eating is the best revenge. So this, you can actually tell it kind of has a definitely an exotic look to it. The autumn olive. They're kind of dry. The berries will be ripe soon. You can see, get a close-up look right here. Okay, you can see some of the berries right now. They're certainly not mature, so they're not ready to be eaten. But you can tell that silvery, almost like artificial looking leaf of the autumn olive. This was actually introduced here not too long ago, early 1900s, I think, to help the soil, to prevent soil erosion. And it's really outcompetes some of the native species for resources. It's a really good nitrogen fixer. So the nodules in its roots are able to intake nitrogen in the soil. So that's what a nitrogen fixer is, kind of like a legume. So it's able to, has the adaptation that enables it to outcompete other species for resources. So it's really good at nitrogen fixation. So that'll be ready soon. And then I got one more here. This is a native. This is walnut. Okay, if you can see right there, the walnuts. Okay, they are not ripe yet. Have studied wild edibles in the past, and one of the things I did study was black walnut, Juglans nigra. So the colonists used the black walnut to dye their hair. It's very, the dye is very strong. If you take the hull off of the walnut, then your fingers, if you don't wear gloves, your fingers will be brown for like 2 weeks. So you have to take that off, take off the hull of the walnut, and then dry it out in the basement. That's what the colonists did a long time ago, and for 3 or 4 months to dry it out. So it has a very like lemony, citrusy smell. So this is a black walnut. All right, so there's a couple I wanted to show you right here as we were walking. So this is Backyard Brent signing off. Remember, Earth living is good living.